That's on the 23rd.
23rd. We'll kind of give you some details while we're going here. All right. But there is still a
10:30.
10:30 meeting next.
So if you're doing player pitch.
Player pitch, because you get to distract the video and everything else. All right, ready?
Yeah, we'll start.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
All right. Wrigley?
No? I thought we were pulling up.
I'm going to pull up one of the rules.
Yeah.
This is going to be very monotonous, but we're going to repeat everything you've already been through, plus do ground rules again. Okay? So.
Just to make sure, because rules are important. If you go out there and don't know the rules, then you've lost half the battle. So. All right. We'll just review these quickly. Remember, games will last. Did we go over the timers for these guys? No, we need to go over the timers for the next report to set the hour.
Right.
Okay. Games are 1 hour or 5 innings, whichever occurs first. So remember, when you go out there, you'll take the timer. You'll set the timer to 1 hour and put it on the fence. And when that timer goes off, that's the end of the game. The batter in the box gets to finish his or her at bat, and then that's the game. You will have coaches that try to talk you into, well, let me just finish the inning. You know, it's not fair. The visiting team got to bat their whole team, and I've only got to bat two kids. It's not fair. We're ending. It's a drop dead. So we're done, and we explain that to the coaches in the meetings that we have. If they ask about score reverts back to the last completed inning. If they got any additional questions, have them contact Rod in the office. Right?
Right.
This one you don't really need to worry about, 15 players. That's an office thing. Now, unless they show up with like 20 players, and you might question that, but I doubt that'll happen. Inning limits, 5 runs per inning or 3 outs, whichever occurs first. So that is, you know, you got four runs, bases loaded, they hit a home run, the other 4 runs come across, you only count the 1 run that gets you to 5. They might get you to try to count the other ones, but it's only 5 is the max or 3 outs. Minimum of 6 players required. For those guys that are doing player pitch, this is a little different because this age we allow 6. When you do player pitch, 9U and up, it is 8. So keep that in mind if you're doing both. But they can play with 6. If they have 5 and they say, well, the other coach or the team going to let me borrow a player so we can play, so we have 6. They don't have a legal roster if they don't have 6 of their players. They can go ahead and stay on the field and use the balls or the machine. But we suggest you guys leave the field, and we actually encourage it. We don't want you to stay there for liability reasons. You still get paid. If they don't have enough players and it's a forfeit, you still get paid for that game. But we don't want you to stay there. Scroll down a little bit, David. Teams will bat rosters. You guys know what that means. Everybody will bat the roster. So if they have 12 kids on their roster, they go through 1 through 12, whoever's on the roster. Batter will receive 5 pitches. So that's 5 total, whether they're in the dirt, above their head. That's 5 total from the coach or the machine. Now, you can have a little bit of leniency on that. So if the machine's just throws 3 balls and it's, you know, a foot over the kid's head, let them adjust it and get it down where the kid can hit it at least. But if the coach can't manage to get it across the plate, I mean, it is what it is. So on 5-6U, remember, you're standing out there and you're keeping track of pitches. So when the coach on coach pitch gets to 3, you're going to say, Coach, that's 3. That should be a clue to him or her that, okay, I have an option of bringing out the tee after the first 3 pitches. That is not mandatory. They don't have to do that. And you don't have to tell them to do that. Just remind them where they're at in the count. And then they'll get the 2 additional swings off the tee. We have had cases in umpires reporting that they'll do the 5 pitches, and then the umpire or the coach will turn around and say, well, I get 2 more off the tee. That's not the case. It is 5 total. So just keep that in mind, because coaches will try to bend the rules a little bit and try to convince you that there's something different than what they are.
If you're using your indicator, just roll the balls on your indicator, so you'll know once you hit 4 on there.
We have one.
Yeah. That way you know when you got 4 or 3, basically. You can say, hey, you got an option to bring it out.
Has anybody used an indicator or seen one? Just, all right.
Yeah, he umps already.
Yeah.
So that's the easiest way. You can just roll it in your hand. I don't carry an inning. Some people carry. Some of them have an inning on there.
Yeah.
So you could do that for runs, actually, if you wanted, if you have an indicator with the innings on it.
So typically they'll have 3 buttons on there. Strikes, which will go 1, 2, and then 3, and then back to 0. And then you'll have your ball count, which will go up through 4, and then your outs. And what Rod was talking about is using the ball count for your strikes. So you just roll it. When he pitches 1, you roll it to 1, roll it to 2. You just keep it in your hand, and when you see it get to 3, say, hey, that's 3. You get 2 more, you roll to 4, and you go back to 0, and that's 5. Batters out. It's really a simple way to keep track of what's going on out there. Yeah. And that should be part of your basic equipment if you buy a kit, a ball bag kit. It'll come with that. Right?
Yep.
We'll pull the field back up again and do the dead ball thing again, just to remind everybody where we want you to call the dead ball when it comes in. But remember, when you call it, make sure you're loud and throw your hands up. Dead ball. That way everybody knows to stop running. No leadoffs, no stealing, no infield fly, no bunting. I mean, these 3 rules should be pretty common sense, but sometimes they're not. All right. I'm going to take a couple.
So what happens when the ball touches the coach or the umpire? Everybody awake today? What happened?
I think I bored them.
No, it's a live ball. Keep playing. This is why we're going back over it again.
Yeah.
The only time it's a dead ball when it hits something.
Machine.
Machine, if it's machine pitch.
Or generator.
Or generator. Defense, free substitution, batting order must be the same. You get 10 players on the field, 1 pitcher, 1 catcher, 4 infielders, and all outfield. You get out there, team doesn't have a catcher, you're going to have some of those. All the kids refuse to go out there, or they're crying, they don't want to go out there behind the plate. They can't put them in the infield, okay?
Or outfield.
Right. They can't have it more than exactly what we state right here. So they can't have 2 pitchers or 2 shortstop or 2 second basemen, okay? Pitcher must be on which side of the pitching mound?
First base.
First base.
There you go.
Okay.
Coaching on offense. 1 at first, 1 at third, 1 pitching, and 1 behind the plate. Really encourage, and we don't care if it's one of the other teams, really encourage them to put 1 behind there, please. Because otherwise it's going to be a disaster, because none of those players can catch the ball or do anything with the ball. So,
In fact, you'll probably see most of the little guys when they catch, they're going to get down there and try to catch, and the ball is just going to go right by them, and they're not even going to move. So that's why it's good, like Rod said.
batters don't know where to line up at,
Yeah.
where to stand. So, on defense, they can only be in the outfield, okay? When they're coaching. Don't let them come in. You all will be taking the game balls to the field. There'll be a bucket in there. You'll get your timer, your bucket,
Game card,
game cards.
clipboard.
They're on a clipboard. You'll get to see all that on the 23rd. We'll all meet at the sheds first before we go out over to the fields. show you the whole drill when you get there. Okay.
We'll go over how to operate. I was going to try to get one of the machines and generators up here, and I forgot about it. So that day we'll get you guys to show you how to get the machine started, make sure that or get the generator started, make sure the machines are set up right, and then how to do some basic troubleshooting if it dies, what to look for. So
Really, really close. Everybody got their stuff? Uniforms already? So if you're coming for the player pitch next week, come in uniform. Okay?
I'm going to pull up the machine pitch. I mean, they're basically the same, but
I'd show up in mine, but mine's like
a tent.
10 sizes too big because I've lost a lot of weight. So I have to get some new pants in. Well, I could if I used a tarp strap to hold them up, maybe.
Same thing on 7U baseball and 8U softball. The main difference between the player pitch or the coach pitch and the machine pitch is going to be when it hits the machine, right? Where are we at? Down here. Yeah, I don't know where that. Yeah, oh, right here. When it hits the machine or generator. That's really the main difference between the two is you've got the machine and generator out there. So if it hits those, it's a dead ball. And the pitcher will be wearing a softball. It'll be a caged helmet since they're so close to the infield or so close to the batter. And with the machine, that ball will jump off of there pretty quick. So we want them to, they should always have a face mask. If a coach shows up and says they don't have one, see if the other team will let them use theirs because they can't have a player in that position without it. And even if they foul the fifth pitch off, I think that's up there a little further, they're still out. There is no foul the fifth one off. That's an 8U baseball machine pitch. Other than that, the rules are basically the same. So if you can just remember, if you're doing machine pitch, the only thing you're adding is the machine into the mix, right? Right. So, you want to hit the 8U real quick, or?
We can.
Okay. You want to hit the 8U?
And just in case you all get the opportunity, 8U's hour-and-a-half ball games.
Yep.
Different rules. Yeah.
So having a catcher, is that a requirement for each team?
No. We would like them to have a catcher, but at 5, 6U, 7U, it's not a requirement.
Because in Winsville, sometimes they don't have a catcher.
Yeah.
Right. They just can't take that player and put him out in the field and have, you know.
Now, if they're short players and they want their catcher to play out, so as long as they only have 9 in the field, then they're good. So you don't. Huh. Okay. All right. We'll have to.
We'll get back over
Yeah.
those.
All right.
Any other questions on any of this? We all got it down to science now, right?
Anything we need to clarify on the rules? Nothing. Okay. Like Rod said, today is kind of a monotonous day. We're just kind of reviewing everything before we let you loose to come back out on the field.
Yeah. Make sure you have everything ready because those are going to be live teams. So, right?
Yep. We'll pull up the field.
Yeah. All right. If you're the primary, where do you start at?
Here? Okay.
If you're secondary, where are you going to start at? Nobody on base.
Anybody?
Come on now. Come on.
So if you're the secondary,
Where would you be if you were on player pitch? Right.
so, and if you end up having to do a game by yourself, this is the only position you'll be in is right here.
And you're responsible for everything.
Yep. So remember, primary and secondary. So make sure you position off the line in the bag and foul territory enough to give them room. Try not to crowd them out.
Right.
Because you never know where that ball's going to go when it's coming across from somebody trying to make a play over there, and you just want to kind of make sure you stay out of their way. Okay?
Runner on first, where are you going to be in the secondary position?
Oh, that one's too dead.
I think the blue's the only one working in
Is
here.
it?
The black. Oh, there.
Black works.
So now where are you going to go? Runner on first.
Where's this guy go?
Whew. Man, everybody's rolling
Yeah.
today.
When you get a runner coming up to first and you got runner on first, you're going to move back out to that position. Okay? Primary is going to probably be doing the most between here and here. And then if you're secondary, or I'm sorry, secondary will be doing the most between there and there.
For those who are doing player pitch, remember you would break in and you're going to be over here, right? When you're doing little kids like this, you got to stay to the outside. Any idea why? Because they're like about this tall. None of them can see over you. So just stay to the outside all the time. There's no need to come in. But you still want to hustle, make sure you're ahead of them. Shouldn't be any reason why any of you are chasing a 5-year-old to second base.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm just.
Throwing it out there, yeah.
If I'm out there and I see you, and you're gonna look over, you're just gonna see me on the ground rolling, laughing. I'm gonna be laughing because it's gonna be hilarious. There should be no reason for it. So,
Yeah,
right.
correct.
So, what bases does this one have responsibility of? What bases does this one have responsibility of?
What, third and home?
What else is this one responsible for?
Number of pitches.
Yep.
And runs.
Runs.
If you leave it to this one to handle outs, then it's a nice split up, see?
Secondary will do outs.
Got that?
Okay. As a primary, what else are you supposed to be watching for if a ball is hit? When there's a play going on and a runner's running the bases, what are you paying attention to? The what? The ball? Is that what you said? No. As a primary, you're paying attention to the lead runner. The secondary is paying attention to the ball. Remember? Because the secondary is going to watch the ball where it's going. The primary is going to watch the lead runner. So if you had a runner here, and they were going this way, your focus is going to be on that runner there. And you'll shift accordingly. So if that runner gets to third base, you'll leave him there. That's where you're going to listen for when they call, secondary calls dead ball. You need to know where that lead runner is so you know if they get the base that they're on or if they're going back.
That's why for secondary, you got to be loud. If you've ever seen any 5, 6U, 7U games, every parent
And parents get loud when a
their
ball is
brother
hit.
hollering, screaming, yelling, can't hear nothing. Kids can't hear nothing. And if you're like, damn ball, Now your partner doesn't know when to stop the runner.
Yep.
Then you're going to have a big mess. And one of the coaches is going to come out. And then you're going to have to text one of us. So,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. So on that, then basically, if a runner is here and you yell dead ball, do you go ahead and give them that base? No? Do we have a halfway point or a three-quarter point for the kids to get to the base in order to be awarded for? No. Remember, it is always the base they had the possession of last, correct?
Right.
So,
Put it back out. Regular. Put one here. And one out here with a runner on first.
oh. Okay, what do you want?
All right, so this is where you're at with the runner on first, each of you, right? Foul ball this way. Who's going to call that? Come on now, think about it. There you go, secondary. Why is that? Because you are closer to that side. Now the magical question. Over here, who's going to call it?
I thought I heard it.
Primary?
Primary? Okay.
Man, they're all lively, aren't
Yeah.
they? All right. So what do we not want to do?
Have no one call it.
Well, yeah, that's for sure. Don't want to have nobody not call it. And the last thing you want to do is have a foul ball over here. When you're way over here, you're hollering foul ball.
Or even worse, you're hollering fair ball.
Which you better not be even saying fair.
Yeah, and this guy's calling it foul. And it has happened.
So whoever, and don't get in a hurry on it.
Yeah.
Okay? Wait on it. That ball could be coming here, come out here, hit a rock right here, and pop right back in.
You need to let it come to a stop in foul territory before you call it.
Especially on
Or touched.
especially on those girls softball and 5-6U coach pitch because they got the softy bouncy balls. So that ball can get hit home plate and go over the second baseman's head.
So
Right?
what happens when a ball's hit, comes foul, bounces off the base of the dugout and comes back in and not touched?
Hits what?
Dugout, fence.
Oh,
The ball is hit foul, it comes over, rolls, it hits the where the dugout is, the fence through here, and bounces back into fair territory before it's ever touched in front of the base. It's foul. And because it was, why is it still foul? Because it did come back in.
right.
Okay. I'm just trying to think of things I've seen out there, you know.
Right. Some of your fields you're on, let me see. Fence is only going to go so far.
Yeah.
So let's say the fence only runs to where that line is here. Right? Ball's hit. Goes in, rolls. Remember, this is your fence. Rolls. Little dude's running after it. Rolls, rolls, rolls. Out to there. Goes out to get it. What you got?
So remember, it's past the foul line, but it is also past The fence.
So it was a fair ball, but it kept rolling and rolling, and now you got your fence here, but there's no fence past it, right? So what you got? That's a dead ball, okay?
Out of the field of play.
Out of field of play. So pay attention to that. Field 2 over there is that
Yeah.
way.
Well, field 2, they extended the fences up a little bit further.
Further,
so,
did they?
Yeah. It's mainly, I think, 6 and 7. It's
And 5.
Yeah.
And 5, and it will happen on both sides.
Yeah.
So pay close attention to that, because they'll run over there and grab it and try and throw it back in.
Yeah.
And the whole time, everybody else still running around, and nobody should be going anywhere
Yeah.
once you kill it. So who would kill that?
Secondary.
Okay, good deal.
Do the runners get the base that they have achieved when you kill it at that point, or do they have to go back? So that ball is hit out here, it rolls out here, and it passes out of field of play. You had a runner on first that is now rounded past second. Your batter has got first and went past first, and you call the dead ball here. What do you do?
First and second.
First and second.
Well, if this runner started out at first, right?
Right. So they
Okay,
only
yep.
achieved those 2 bases,
Those
right?
2 bases, yep.
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, if this one got all the way down to about here, it's got to go back.
Yep.
Unless this runner made it to second already, right? So the only way that they get to advance if they didn't make it before you kill it is if the runner after them had already taken possession of the base, okay?
Okay. So, where does ball hit into the outfield, player throws it back in, where are you going to call dead ball at? Or when are you going to call dead ball? When it what?
When it crosses into the infield.
And what's considered the infield? Baseline.
But now remember, you don't want to call it in the air when it crosses that line. You want to let it hit the ground first, somewhere in there. So, because it's always hard to judge where that line is, so you want to make sure it hits the ground before you call it a dead ball. Who else?
Any questions on any of that? No? Feeling confident that you'll succeed on the 23rd? No issues?
Yeah.
That's good, because one of the teams is my grandson's team.
Yeah, and one of the 8U softballs is my niece, so
There
yeah, because you guys made a team, I saw.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah, I think you got an email to coach it, didn't you?
no, I didn't. I think David's going to do that. So earlier I had said, remember when you get a runner on first, the secondary, you move out to this position when you have a runner on first or second. Primary is right here. Remember, if you got a play coming home, don't just stand here. Move kind of where the play is, or move here. You know, don't let this guy do all the work or this girl do all the work. You have to move too. You can't just stand there. Okay? So make sure you're moving to get a good angle on the play.
Yep, because I could tell you, if anybody's worth their grain of salt coaching at this age group, they're going to have their pitcher here, and they're going to teach that pitcher,
Yep.
take anything there. Anything on the ground. So anything on the ground, they're going to come in if there's a runner at third.
And they're going to throw it here.
and they're gonna run home.
Or run home, yeah.
I mean, run like the Dickens. They're gonna grab the ball and run to home. So, don't get caught sleeping over there, because it'll happen.
Yeah, they do get,
No, it's gonna. Most of them are gonna be a pretty blatant play
Yeah.
at that age.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like you got some sliding tag play going on that you.
or diving over the catcher.
Right, but still, you know, make an effort so at least you look like you're trying to do something. You know.
Okay.
All right. No questions?
Guys ever clear? Any additional questions on anything or any situation you think might happen that you're unsure about or how you'd want to call it or anything? No? All right. Where do we go next?
All right, we're gonna go back over ground rules. Who's the first two volunteers? I don't think this guy got to do them, did you? Were you here for ground rules?
Yeah.
Were you? We'll just take you and you. We'll just go in order. Oh.
Don't make me be the bad one.
You got me the last time. So.
Yeah.
All right.
Tim?
Rod.
Tim?
Right.
Alright, today we will be playing 5 and 6U coach pitch.
Okay.
May I see your lineups? Coach, you're missing some last names and numbers. Please fill that out and get
Okay.
that back to me.
Get to you by the end of the game?
No, you got 15 minutes to fill
Okay.
that out.
All right. We'll get it back to you.
Sounds good. Alright, so we'll play 5 innings or 1 hour,
Okay.
whichever comes first. Each batter will get 5 pitches. After the first 3, you have the option of bringing out a tee that they can hit off of.
Okay.
There will be no stealing, no leadoffs, and no bunting. Do you have any questions?
No?
Nope.
All right.
Alright.
Yeah.
And remember, you'll have the timer and
How long's timer set for?
Tim? Tim?
All right.
Okay, so it's a 5 to 6 coach pitch.
What did you say? I can't hear you.
5 to 6 coach pitch.
What?
5 to 6 coach pitch.
Oh, okay.
That's your line of cards.
You guys gotta speak up.
Thank you. There's some numbers,
Okay.
some last names.
Okay.
Figures good.
All right.
Now,
He's always got a mess.
now remember, you're keeping one sheet of this.
Yeah.
Remember that? So remember, you keep one sheet of this.
They should only hand
Hand
you
you
one.
Yes. So
Another copy's gonna go to the other
the
team's
other should have them
scorekeeper,
crossed, yeah.
right? So most of the time they'll either give you this. You could get either one of them.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter
Doesn't
as long
matter.
as it's legible. We just need one from each team with that card. Okay.
So it's 5 innings or 1 hour, whichever occurs first.
Okay.
5 runs or 3 outs in an inning. No
Okay.
bunting, no leadoffs, no stealing.
Okay.
Any questions?
Yeah.
When time's up, do I get to finish my inning if I haven't completed it yet?
It's drop dead, so the batter gets to finish at bat.
Okay. All right.
All right.
Thank you.
Good job.
See, that wasn't so bad.
Yeah. Yeah, producers are just a real
know.
pain. We need headsets so you
Yeah.
can talk to us.
Yeah, we got the mic. We just need. I should have got the other ones ahead. Yeah.
2 more?
It's getting hot in here.
What'd you set the heat on?
I didn't
I
touch
didn't touch it.
Usually it's like
'Cause you got on
74
me
when I
last
come in
time.
the mornings.
Hey, we'll have to adjust that for the next meeting,
Yeah.
David, because we'll need all the space back here.
Yeah. Okay.
you
Oh, you
like
need to give
this?
them some information.
This is 5-6U coach pitch. Can I get your card?
Okay.
Or shake hands first?
Yeah. Tim.
Never.
Tim.
Break. Can I get your card?
Lineup sheets.
Lineup sheet.
Yeah.
There you go.
Okay.
We're missing some last names and
Okay.
numbers. 5 innings or 1 hour, whichever occurs first. No
Okay.
stealing, no leadoffs. Any questions?
There you go.
Yep.
Oh.
No.
Yeah. Anytime you hit a pause, what's the first thing you say? Any questions?
Yep.
Save you every time.
Yep. And you guys can, if you do a 4x6 or a 3x5 card, if you want to jot some notes down first couple of games, take it out there and read from that so you don't forget.
Write
You
it on
can.
your palm,
Yeah. Yeah. We don't care.
sleeve.
Okay. What?
Alright, Maverick,
Tim?
Brady.
Tim?
lineup sheets. Coach, you're missing last names and
Okay.
numbers. So this is 5U, coach pitch, 5 innings or 1 hour, whatever occurs first.
Okay.
Each batter gets 5 pitches.
Okay.
It's drop dead, so when the timer goes off, the batter can finish, but that's it.
Okay.
No bunting, no leadoffs, no stealing. Any questions?
Yeah, after the 5th pitch, I get two more off the tee, correct?
No, after 3 pitches, you can use a tee, but maximum of only 5.
Okay. All right. Good.
All right. So far, so good. We won't make him go. 'Cause he's up here. So we'll grab these two, right? Man, it is. What did that?
It's
I didn't
hot.
touch the heat. I'm telling you.
Well, I know last Saturday I came in, it was like 73 or 74. Tim?
Root.
Tim?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is 5U coach pitch. Can
Okay.
you see your?
Make me be the bad coach.
You'll make me next.
You're missing some last names.
Okay.
and
All right.
numbers. Okay, so ground rules are 1 hour or 5 innings, whichever occurs first. There's 5 runs or 3 outs in an inning.
Okay.
A batter gets 5 pitches or 3 pitches, and then you can use 2 tees.
Okay.
There's no leadoffs, no stealing, and no bunting. Any questions?
Nope.
I don't think so.
All right. Good.
Colin, you forgot to shake those hands.
Right.
Tim?
Colin?
Tim?
Can I have your sheets?
Another hand sanitizer day.
Yep. And we had 53 people out at work
Coach, you're missing
yesterday.
some last names and numbers.
Okay.
I'm playing 5-6U, coach pitch, no bunting, no stealing, no, yeah, and then, 1 hour or 5 runs, whichever comes first. 5 pitches is maximum. After 3, you're allowed to use a tee, but not after 5. Any questions?
Yeah, I got a player that's gonna be late. What do I do when they get there? When they get here?
Depends, like, if it's running, if it goes through, right, and then if he still hasn't gone yet, he's allowed to play, but I don't think after.
I don't know. I don't think we covered that too
I know that's
deeply.
what
did
I
we?
did,
Yeah.
yeah.
We probably need to go over that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you ever have a coach
Yeah.
that doesn't have a player here, first thing you want to do is make sure they are not on the lineup sheet.
That's probably when you get it, ask them.
Ask them,
Are all
or is
these
it on
players?
here? Yeah. If they're not, if they're, scratch it. Don't leave them on there. Okay. If they're not on there, say great. When they come, add it on to the bottom. They
And
can,
it don't
they can
matter.
come in any time.
It don't matter.
You can be in the bottom of the 5th.
Yeah, 5 minutes left, and
Okay. They can add them on there. All right. Threw that in there because it just.
yeah, I forgot about that. You should ask that too. Is all your players here that you have listed?
Yeah, because you will have some that think, well, I'll put them on the bottom. They'll never get to that batting spot, and then they still don't show.
Yeah.
Okay, now you got a problem.
Yeah.
Because now you got to scratch them, and then typically you're not supposed to let them come back into the game. But
And it would be an out every time they came up. But
Right.
at this age, we're not going to do that.
we're not worried about that.
The coach has to tell the umpires whenever that player shows up.
Yeah.
When they're adding them.
And the other team.
And the other team,
Mm-hmm.
so you can add it on to the.
Yeah. So if coach comes out and says, "Hey, I just added another player," say, "Well, can you make sure you let the other scorekeeper know on the other team?" Make that their responsibility.
Yeah.
That was me. I turned the squeaky toy off.
Oh,
So, all right, I think that's, you guys go sit down. So,
so there isn't much more we can show you all till we get on the field. So hopefully you're ready. How many of you are staying for the player pitch?
Three. Okay.
3 or 4. There'll be more people coming in. There's quite a few had baseball practice today. So
Yeah.
I don't know. We're made high schools. That one's going to be different. We're going to give it up here. And any of you guys catch? Play catcher?
Nope.
No? That's all right.
All right.
We'll find one, somebody sit on the bucket.
Yep.
So, but otherwise, since you're not, we're gonna, you're not gonna be here. Make sure you get your uniforms.
Yeah, for the outdoor for the 23rd.
23rd, we want you at. Everybody know where the sheds are at Westoff Park. Over by
Field.
Westoff, by Field 1. All right, that's where we want you at 2 o'clock. Teams are showing up at 2:30.
Are you gonna send out an email reminder to them? Or?
I can try. I don't have any minutes.
Yeah.
So,
So yeah, so make sure you note that on the 23rd at 2 o'clock. Okay. Also, your direct deposit information. If you have it by the 23rd, bring it with you so we can get it. If not, mail it to the office or bring it in between 10 and 4 to the office before the end of the month. That way the treasurer, Tina, she can get it in the system. That way you guys are all set, so when you start open, you can get paid. Okay?
hopefully a good time to start getting you all in the system. So keep an eye out on your email that you listed on your sheet, so that I may just have to take time early morning or whenever to get you in, so you can go ahead and get that and start getting your availability put in.
Now, most of you guys won't start till first week in May, right?
Right, so we got a little bit more time. But those of you doing player pitch too, we're hoping to start the 8th.
Yeah. 8U machine pitch if you're doing any of those.
As long as we don't continue to have blizzards and typhoons like today between now and then.
Yeah.
So, no questions otherwise? Where'd you all get your uniforms from? Where'd you buy
Online or Johnny Max? or-
Online, Johnny Max, or what? Johnny Max?
Okay.
Cheap there now.
Are they cheap now?
Yeah, 'cause it's like 30% off since they're closing.
Yeah.
Alrighty. We'll get out of here. It's pouring down rain. We'll catch you on the 23rd.
Yep.